Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NSDCA Mountain Dew Custom Series, season number 7. It is race number 13 here, coming at you from the Iowa Speedway, the Toyota Owners 225. 50 laps here under the lights for these MDCS cars. On the pole, we have Larry Hagan continuing a dominant season for that number 28 team. Danny Lloyd in the 94 to his outside, trying to rebound what has been a skid these last couple of races. Team that the 28's battling in the owner's point standings starts third, the 91. Daniel Kobza looking to defend his win from last season. Diego Yepes getting a good qualifying there in fourth in the Hoagie machine, which makes its return. Not waste any more time and get these engines fired here in the cornfields of Iowa.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the field of 35 will come to life here from the Iowa Speedway under the lights. Adam Mitchell, all he has to do is start this race, and he is your champion. And rolling off the grid here and onto the track, he looks to do so. Patrick Smith was his big championship rival this season in the number 39. He finally broke through into the win column, but could not get the championship taken care of. Smith only sees himself a couple of points away from possibly losing second to Bobo Jones, which has just been an incredible season for this number 77. But with the season dominated by the Sundroppers, leeches, whatever you'd like to call them, the point standings have been shaken up heavily. But we still have a season to finish out, folks, and let's take you along the ride here. 50 laps of action from Iowa. This track never seems to disappoint, but here we go. Hagan and Lloyd side by side. Green flag is out. We're underway. And I don't have the ticker. Oh well, we're going to keep going. Hagan up the track here early into 1 and 2. Cobb's looking to capitalize. Remember, he wants to defend that win he got here last season, pushing to the inside of the 91. This is for all the marbles in the Owners' Championship, as Patrick Smith doesn't want to be beaten by Bobo Jones in the standings. He makes a big move 3 wide there on lap number 1. Picking up spots early as Yepes into the wall a little bit there in the 1. Cobb's a clear into the lead. Now is Danny Lloyd dicing up the middle underneath the 28, feeling the pressure from Corbett. And Kyle Corbett there, Hagan's driver, doesn't want to add too much to the mix. Corbett's still looking. He's got his left side tires on that yellow paint there on the inside. Brad Stover making up spots in the 92. It'll be a good, a much needed good run for that Rockstar Energy Racing team. Hopefully I'm done tripping over my words now as Lloyd clear into second. Hagan settling into third, but Corbett could be looking up to the inside. Patrick Smith says not so fast. I want to go up there to fourth possibly. Can't do it. 61 pinches him off. Driver who's also having a tough year, having a nice run tonight. There's the 0-1 of Francois Chastain breaking his way up there into the top 10, soon to be top 5 if he can get by just a couple more drivers there in that Propel 0-1. Now Corbett still looking underneath the 28, dicing around for third. Oh, I heard a spin. We got a big crash back here. It's the 54, 44, and 35, all torn up in 3 and 4. They're all going to drive away, but Charles Sanford looks to be getting the worst of it. Rear end damage to the 54 and the 44, but Sanford is used up in the front, and I believe definitely at the right side, maybe the left, no, but seems like Sanford's going to be the worst of that. We are under caution here early from Iowa. Let's take a look and see what happened. So the season for Luke Evans continues to going bad from worse. Gunnar Matson absolutely sends it in, and the meat in the sandwich for the 54. Nowhere to go. Collects the 44 and the 35, and Sanford took a tremendous hit to the outside wall. Thankfully, he drives away in his Dodge, but he seems definitely getting the worst of it. He might not be able to continue, but I have a feeling that we'll still see the 54 and 44 continue going tonight here from Iowa. We'll get you back to the green. And welcome back here to the Iowa Speedway under caution early for a 3-car incident. Okay, that didn't work. I wanted to do a static camera there, but obviously I didn't do that. So it's a graphical mess, but it's nothing to worry about. Kobza, Lloyd, Hagan, Corbett, and Patrick Smith are your top 5. The TV directors will be fired after this race, folks. Don't worry. Here we go. Daniel Kobza leading us back down, and it seems like Corbett's going to get the jump here early, just peeking out of line while he can. And it's going to bite him. Patrick Smith now diving up the inside in his 39. Hagan looking to bounce back on Lloyd. Patrick Smith still trying to work underneath the 28. Can't quite do it. John Dilks, Christian Vargas hanging out back here. And now Smith made it work on Hagen. Now looking to the inside for Lloyd for second. Cobbs has to defend both lanes. He's going to be all over this joint. Let's go out the back bumper of the 91. Oh, he just threw it into the corner and it's stuck using those dirt track skills Cobbs is. Man, working the high line at Iowa, you don't see that every day. Daniel Cobbs have put a masterclass onto this 91. We've talked about how good this car is over this season, and once again, it's showing that tonight. Smith, Corbett's an all-Dodge top 3, then John Dilks, then some more Dodges, Adam Mitchell. And how about Archibald Buttersworth? Finally into the top 10. He hasn't had a single... He's had 2 this season, but no top 5s yet. Seems like he gets involved in an incident every race, but now the Shore Lots machine up here doing well. That's what Archibald needs to see in SBR, although I don't think he's coming back next season. I can't confirm anything on that, but the 93 might not be driven by Buttersworth next season. I honestly don't remember. Cobbs is still mining a gap. He's got about half a second over Patrick Smith currently here, as we're already about a quarter of the way through this one at Iowa. Mitchell slipping back on the high side just like Larry Hagen did before him. Now Hagen to the inside of the 83s. Mitchell riding up against the wall. Talked about a good qualifying position for Diego Yepes. He's all the way down to 24th now. Not at all what that car wants to be doing. And now Lloyd and Vargas find themselves side by side for the 5th position. Oh man, Hagen and Buttersworth. You almost saw the 93's incident this race there. Like a door check right to the 93. You don't usually see that out of Larry Hagen. I'm very surprised to see that now. Is Alex Parker trying to take off what he can here on the bottom underneath the SBR duo. Parker should be going full time in the MDCS next season if I'm not mistaken. And it's single file here in the top 4. Bobo Jones slipped back early, but now settling into a run. Might lose some more spots as Cordell Smith, Mikey Yamakasi trying to carve themselves up through the field. Smith not wasting any time. Oh, contact there between the 20 and the 77. Close quarters racing on these short tracks. That's why the fans come out here for these MDCS events. Gonna watch this. Bobo up into the wall a little bit there through the tri-oval. And Parker's still trying to make his way up through the field in the 64. These Hagen cars have been very quick on the short tracks. But for Dusty Neal, we passed Neal. He's all the way back here. Not really where he wants to be. The 44 is way off pace, and the 35 is out of the race. Here we go. Activity up at the front. Corbett could be making a lunge underneath Smith for second. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Corbett's going to clear. Traction doesn't stick for the 39 as it does for his teammate there, Cobbs in the 91. But now Smith possibly thinking about a crossover here on Corbett on corner exits. We have the run out of the 39. Yes, we do. Looking. Corbett kind of blocking Smith. They don't know what lane either of them are taking. Now Corbett throws it into the corner. Does it work for him? Like it did not work for Smith. Yeah, Patrick Smith can't make the move stick as well as Corbett and Cobbs can. Smith right on the attack once again. Can't make anything of it. Mitchell underneath Vargas. This is for the 6th position as Parker bullying Chastain up the hill. Chastain now next to rub the wall. I think what happens is the banking kind of flattens off there and kind of throws the groove off and sees some of these drivers hit the outside wall through the corners. Excuse me there, but Cordell Smith started very deep in this field, and now he's almost cracked the top 10. Very good run for the Michael Holligan machine. I don't know if Holligan's coming back next season. I don't believe they are. Could be mistaken on that. It's been a while since we've done an MDCS race, but Cobbs is still minding his business out at front. Corbett Smith and John Dokes. just about halfway here from Iowa. We're going to take a commercial break, folks, and be back with you with the second half of the Toyota Owners 225. Welcome back here to Iowa and the Toyota Owners 225. We're seeing some action up at the front. Kyle Corbett's fallen forward. Patrick Smith and John Dilks have gotten by. But as we look back up here to the lead battle, Smith whittled down the gap just a little bit, but Kavza has extended it once more. We'll have to see what it was at the line. Yeah, 2/10 gain that time by the 91, but the 39 will still be hot on his heels. Patrick Smith knows he cannot let Kavza get away. It's the top 6 altogether. Then Adam Mitchell trying to break away from what we have some side-by-side action back here. It's Archibald Buttersworth, Christian Vargas, then Scott Roush, Francois Chastain, Cordell Smith, Gunnar Manson, Alex Parker, all dicing it up here as we look into the midfield. Really, it's going to be the battle for 10th now, with Scott Roush kind of holding up this train of drivers, it seems. Looking back up to the front, here we go. Dilks underneath Patrick Smith, nearly wrecking Patrick Smith there. Side by side for second. The Napa know-how machine by the 68 knows how to get it done, and is going to try and work his way past the 39 here. Smith, once again, that's a bottom feeder car, that 39. Once he gets up to the high side, that car just falls off completely. It is set up to rotate the bottom, because this track, Iowa, it's a little bit of progressive banking here in the corners, so you might have a car that performs better on the bottom than the top. And I mean, Kavza seems to work his car up better on spots that aren't that yellow line, but Smith, he is somebody that is just painting that strip every time by. Here, using it to his advantage once again, underneath Dilks for seconds, trading positions here, letting Kavza get away. 20 to go, this time by at the line. Kyle Corbett wants to put his name back in the hat, looking toward the back bumper of the 68. Can't get anything done. Buttersworth Vargas still settling in as Roush slips back. Now Cordell Smith wants to be the one to crack the top 10. Vargas isn't done with Buttersworth, though. Here he comes, I think, in a 1 and 2. Do we see him move out of the Siemens machine? Not quite. Just did not have the speed. He's going to have it on exit, though. Possibly. Do we see a big dive here in the 3? Dove. Buttersworth defends. And now Corbett's gotten by the 68. And Danny Lloyd looking to do the same. Lloyd and Dilks trying to dice it out for 4th. Three-quarters of a second the gap is from Kavza back to 2nd. Ooh, Lloyd, a late lunge, nothing there. Had to really get on the brakes. That could allow Hagan to have a run here. Somebody blowing up. It's your leader, Daniel Kavza. He's blowing up from the race lead. It's all gone wrong. That car was good, but it was just too good. Kavza grinding to a halt here at 1 and 2. You can hear the crowds just gasping at this development, but heartbreak for Evernham, and what a shakeup for the Owners' Points Championship. Will this cause a caution? Yes, it does. We're going to rack him, stack him here. Patrick Smith and other Evernham cars going to lead this. And I think this is what happened at Las Vegas one year. The Evernham cars were running 1-2, and Finguy was the one that blew up, and it was the other driver who went on to win the race. Do we see that from Patrick Smith tonight? Very frustrating, I'm sure, for Cobbs, just to have the race in the bag, basically. But it goes up in gray smoke. No need for a replay. We're going to take a breather and get this thing back green as soon as we can. Alright, folks, the track is clear. We're getting ready to go back green here from Newton, Iowa. The Toyota Owners 225 looking to be a thrilling conclusion. The 91 blew up. Now it is Smith, Corbett, Dilks, Lloyd, and Hagan, your top 5. What happens here on the restart? The good launch by the 39 is going to leave everybody in the dust. Geez, the officials might have to worry about if that's a jump or not. Lloyd gets shuffled up to the high side here early. Dilks looking to capitalize, possibly get up to 2nd underneath the 61. Lloyd doesn't lose too much, but Cordell Smith's been just working his way through the field. Are the caution lights already back on? Yes, they are. Oh my goodness. It's Archibald Buttersworth once again. You see them racing back at the top of your screen, but Buttersworth, of all people, once again manages to find himself in some sort of incident. It seemingly happened every race of the season, and sure enough, it happens tonight at Iowa, just when he was having a good run. Alright, folks, so that's just going to be a quick caution. It was Archibald Buttersworth whose car came to a stop for an unknown reason there. It was coming to the green, the car ground to a halt. The team reported it as a tire, but not really sure the full story of what went on there. Patrick Smith still leads us over Corbett, Dilks, Lloyd, and Hagan. Really, the only change was, I believe it was the 94 losing a spot there on the restart, but it's another masterful restart by the 39, but this time it's going to be the 61 of Corbett matching it, and once again, Lloyd gets shuffled up to the high side. But do we see a breakout performance here by Kyle Corbett and Hagan Enterprises? Oh, Smith walks it up the hill there through 3 and 4. He might have been watching his mirrors, and we know how the 39 struggles on the high side tonight. Kyle Corbett, a big run here into turn 1. Do we see a lunge? No, too far back. Smith covering the spot. Danny Lloyd trying to hang on as well as he can on the high side, but it's not really going well for him. Cordell Smith continuing to make up time, and with the field bunched up as close as they are, Smith could come up here and challenge. Now, it's Dilks. The TRD cars really showing their stuff in the Toyota Owners 200, but Smith looking to break out there into the lead. Oh, he misses the corner. He's going to walk it up the hill a little bit, missed his entry, but doesn't have to fear much because Dilks and Corbett side by side right behind them. They have to focus on defense, not the offense, and that was an offensive move there by John Dilks, pushing up into the side of Corbett. That's really going to wash Corbett up the hill here through the tri-oval. Now Hagan will set his sights to get by his driver into 1 and 2. Too far back, Corbett has to run the high side, but Hagan, that car has been planted to the inside line all race long, looking to dive underneath his employee. Yes, he does. Corbett wisely gives the boss the space. Now, 5 to go. Do we see any challenges for Patrick Smith? The Everdam car's been the best all night long. Is there anything to change that? Smith up the hill once again, possibly trying to... Has he saved his tires enough? Has he found something now on the high side that can work to his advantage? Maybe he has, because he didn't really lose anything there. Oh, Dilks walks himself up the racetrack. That's going to allow Corbett to fight once again for second. 4 to go from Iowa. Dilks riding the pine there on the high side. Now, Corbett to the inside for second. This is what Patrick Smith wants to see. This battling behind them. Does not have anything to worry about, just has to hit his marks lap after lap after lap. But now Corbett clears. Somehow, them racing side by side, they've managed to whittle down the gap. Now, 3 to go from Iowa. Do we see a challenge for Patrick Smith here out at the front? Cordell Smith's found himself up to 4th, but he's got his teammate in front of him. Kyle Corbett trying to break his way up here into NSDCA, the history books, trying to put himself to be the next driver to get his first career win. But does he have anything for the 39 of Patrick Smith? Big run there through the center of the corner. Kyle Corbett side by side with Patrick Smith down into turn 3. Do we see him move? Smith throws it in on the high side. Is it going to be enough? We've seen some fantastic Iowa finishes. Side by side, folks, get the cameras out. We could see a photo finish. 1 to go from Iowa. The white flag. Corbett does all he can to push Patrick Smith to the high side where that 39 is bad. But Smith gets the exit of all things. Now, Corbett, do we see a dive through 3 and 4? Yes, we do. Corbett's going to have a run on the inside. It's not going to be enough. Patrick Smith, you are an NSDCA winner for the 2nd time this year. Patrick Smith wins the Toyota Owners 225. And how about TRD coming home 3rd and 4th? A great run for them in the Toyota race. Danny Lloyd 5th. Larry Hagan falls to 6th. Not bad, all things considered. Jeffrey Finguy carved his way up through the field in 7th. Alex Fletcher started 34th today. He finishes 8th. Another great run out of the 62 team at Iowa. And then it's the 0-1 and the 11. Francois Chastain, Gunnar Matheson rounding out your top 10. The results are on your screen. Patrick Smith's celebratory burnout will follow, but it is the good kind of smoke for Everdam, not the bad kind that we saw with Daniel Cobbs losing this race in a heartbreak. Thank you all for watching. Kansas is up next, folks, and we'll see you next time on the NSDCA.